Hello guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking about how to use Terminators and Infernus Marines because they are some of the most common Space Marine units used today, and they're both, well, at least Infernus Marines. Infernus Marines are they're a little strange because they don't have the range or objective control of intercessors, but they don't have the toughness to really go up against something big. First thing first, I'm going to be talking about Infernus Marines. Furnace Marines are common because they come in every starter set. From the cheapest one to the most expensive, you are getting Infernus Marines. And they're strange because they're really good in shooting, D6 shots per guy, strength 5. Good at killing swarms, but uh they're just like not compared to intercessors, who are useful because they're able to control objectives and good for just they have 24 inches of range, so they're not completely useless if they're sitting on an objective. These guys, they can't sticky objectives. If you leave one on your home objective, it will most likely never get to shoot something. And these are 80 points. They're as much as intercessors, but they're just a lot easier to get because they're so common within starter sets. Terminators are kinda in the same boat as the Infernus Marines, as most starter sets come with Terminators, and that's probably why they're so common. They're also a really good unit. These don't move very quickly. However, they do come with a very good teleport homer. The thing with the teleport homer is most people either put it too close and are too aggressive with it, and then it just gets destroyed, and then you just have a slow moving unit that can't really affect the game that much because it hasn't entered the field fast enough. Or you have a unit that you put the teleport homer in not necessarily a good position. These guys also do have deep strike, but I think just having a teleport homer on them is better than putting them in deep strike. Next up is everyone's favorite miniature that always falls apart, the Captain in Terminator armor. He is a good unit to be taken with Terminators or left alone. And if you need buffs, he gives buffs. He's really, for the Space Marine Combat Patrol, the only anti-tank they have, other than Terminator Power Fists, which are okay, but the relic weapon is far superior, hitting on 2s. So he's kind of the only really good anti-tank within the Combat Patrol. I'm not covering the magic person in this just because I don't feel like it, and I don't own one. And even if I didn't, I do own the data sheet, and I have played with a magic person. So, yeah, thoughts on magic person? Decent, not game changing. Witchfire's okay. This guy gives better buffs to a Terminator squad. I'd rather put him in a Terminator squad, leave that guy on his own, because this guy will just add so much girth to a Terminator squad and just make it that much more deadly compared to him basically just adding another Terminator with a heavy weapon. Which, I mean, yeah, that's good, I guess. But, yeah. So, now I'm going to talk about Infernus Marines and what I think you should play them with. Infernus Marines are very strange in the sense that they don't really pack too much punch. Well, they're kind of a nice middle ground, but not nice, because you either want objectives or you want shooting, and Infernus Marines aren't really super amazing at either, but I think they still have use. They should be probably used as a unit that you have shoot. As a Space Marine player, you have Oath of Moment, which does not help these guys at all. So they should pretty much focus on shooting on units that aren't your Oath of Moment, because the Oath of Moment just doesn't help them at all. Another thing is they should be used as after your Stormtroopers. Basically as intercessors. These guys should be used as objective controllers who should usually be placed in squads of 10. Squads of 5 Infernus Marines can't get much done. But if you put a squad of 10 Infernus Marines and then you put like a lieutenant in that squad, you have an 11-man Space Marine squad. Your opponent, the Space Marines are not that tough when it comes to shooting, but if you put them on an objective or send a land raider to an objective, have these guys hop out, and I would even charge these guys into stuff, because you have 30 dice with a 10-man squad. But for a 5-man squad, I would personally send them to objectives that your opponent has under guarded. Because usually in games of 40k, oh man, I dropped the camera. There is one objective that is going to be the main point of conflict. And that objective may change throughout the game. So as long as you send these guys to a place that is not the immediate point of conflict and they have time to really set up on an objective as a 5-man squad, they would probably be able to defend it decently from, I don't know, orc boys. Like, you said 20 orc boys after this, and they were not necessarily prepared, they would absolutely get shredded, because it's a smaller Space Marine unit. But if you put these guys on an objective, all they really did was, like, shoot at 10 orc boys or, like, an orc war boss trying to take the objective, they would be able to at least destroy your opponent's resources that they are sending to capture that objective. And yeah, that's really all they're useful for. Shoot with these guys. Next up, we have the backbone of smaller Space Marine armies, which is the good old-fashioned good shooting, good charging, good unit, good toughness, good strength Terminators. Terminators, I feel like, are often used as units that are purely used for killing. Rarely take objectives, which I think is very, like, not good. Because these guys, if you hold an objective with Terminators, your opponent is not going to take that objective from you easily or without sacrificing other parts of the campaign. So if you send this to a place where your army isn't really, and you're using a smaller Space Marine army, if it's a smaller point game, even like in a 1,000-point game, these would draw resources exponentially from other areas. And your opponent's really going to have to think, okay, is it worth it to take an objective that's guarded by Terminators? And the Terminators can still get some shooting done, but they will be sitting on an objective, actually scoring you points, or, yeah, they would be sitting on an objective, actively scoring you points, instead of just fighting and dying in super cool ways. They would have an actual use to you winning the game. And then there's also heavy weapons I'd like to talk about. The Terminators that come in starter sets don't have options for like plasma guns, rocket launchers, or anything awesome, which kind of sucks. Cause like I want a heavy flamer, not a storm bolter, but they only give you the storm bolter, which is a decent weapon. But yeah, the heavy weapons for Terminators, probably the best shooting anti-tank in your army. Most people who buy a starter set will play against Tyranids, so I would shoot this into a Psychophage, a Hive Tyrant, Tyranid Prime, what's it called? A Screamer Killer, or like a Death Dread, because Strength 6 hits on 5s and 6s. And 5s and 6s isn't necessarily bad odds. It's just when you shoot with something hitting on 5s and 6s, you really want to make sure you hit those first shots. And then you'll probably do some damage. A thing with Terminators is they have a distinct lack of armor piercing and shooting. So if they're shooting at something on a 2-up save, it's likely not going to scratch it. That's a problem Space Marines have with a lot of shooting that I think Intercessors and Assault Intercessors, they fill that really well with AP-1 on a bolter rifle. So that's just great. And then, yeah, so those are Terminators. For Teleport Homer placing, I would place it behind an objective and then rapid ingress to that objective. And then that way your opponent can't disable it if they have units with infiltrate. Put it very far away from those. Hi, Mom. Oh, hold up. Sorry about that. Now, where was I? Yeah, put Teleporty Homer behind the, behind an objective. And if you can keep these guys away from infiltrators and have them on an objective, that will be pretty much like a spot where your opponent cannot, like, take. Especially in an early game situation where you really want to score points to start off the game. You could send these guys in. Then once Infernus Marines come up behind them, you could have them leave the objective and maybe go attack another one. But attacking objectives, especially with a smaller 5-man squad, is usually not the way to go. You just want to get on objectives fast and then defend them. Next up we have the Captain in Terminator armor. Just throw him in your Terminators. He'll pack a punch when you charge. Just another Stormbolter's nice during shootouts. And I'm not sure his buffs. But yes, I would put him with Terminators in most situations. Also, he's very good at close combat. I would charge him into lots of stuff alone just because he's very competent with this power sword. He's very good, hitting on 2, strength 6. I wouldn't charge him into a horde, because that's not going to go well. At max, you kill 6 guys, assuming you don't miss a single one. You get fought back with like 20 or like even 14. Their odds of hitting you, they can do more damage than you are doing to them, which is like, it's probably not going to happen, but if it does, you're going to be like, wow. Don't push your luck. Even if it is on a 2-up save, you have the same chance of rolling a 1. Every dice has, each number has the exact same odds for every dice. So it's not like there's absolutely no way you're going to roll a 1. But yeah, that's what I think of the Terminator Captain. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This will be the last episode of the How to Use Infantry and 40k series. Next I will be doing how to use vehicles, so expect that soon. Anyway, your names for the Terminator, who I have right here, are very interesting. Vinny, I think, was one. Ricky Bobby Brown, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, keep sending in those names, and in how many days, I don't really know. We will spin the wheel and pick the name for the Terminator, and then yes, that will be the name of the Terminator, and you will be cemented forever in Dordak 3000 the 2 history before YouTube sends an ICBM to blow up my channel again. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can know how to use vehicles in the next video. This was Through the Fire and the Fist, How to Use Infantry 40k by Dordak 3000 the 2, and I will see you in the next one.
This is not the GOAT. This is not the GOAT. You want to see the real GOAT? Do you want to see who's the real GOAT? I'll show you a real GOAT. I'll show you a real GOAT.